Hello.
Hola,
How are you?
bonjour, bonjour. I
Guten
how
Tag.
how am I? I am excited for this particular.
Why? Because we're going to talk about spooky books
Yes,
for the
yes, and
good old
yes.
spooky season.
For the good old spooky season, yes, because some of these books I've been holding off on reading for like basically almost a year because I only wanted to read them in October. So,
I know
and
that
I don't,
feeling.
yeah, I mean, I've got a hodgepodge of things here. You
I
know,
have a
nothing.
lot of I have a lot of random stuff, and I wonder what we have that's similar.
I
Ooh.
feel like I have a lot of random stuff too. I don't know how you process this, but I first just went through my shelves to just pick out all of
I'm here. I just
three creepy
I'll be right
things that
back.
I think I may want to read. And then I looked at my Goodreads list because I have a shelf on Goodreads called Creepy Reads, and when I find things throughout the year that fit that category, I add them to that shelf. So some of those things on that to get to read for October, in addition to stuff I already have on my shelves. So it's a hodgepodge of things. And I have a little of a shocker here that Alyssa probably won't even believe that I did. And we'll see if it actually happens. But
What did
we'll
you
talk
do?
about it. We'll
Okay.
talk about it when we get to my turn.
All right.
Are you gathering books?
I'm trying to figure out where are the books I bought yesterday for this.
I, hey friends, I want to point out that Alyssa is currently, this is for those of you who can't see the video.
This is
Alyssa
the
bought books.
disorganized one.
She bought books yesterday and she's currently
I'm disorganized,
seriously
everybody.
looking for where they are. This is how many books that she's bought recently. She doesn't even know where she put them. And I think it's hilarious. But I'm really excited. I guess I also want to start by saying that Alyssa and I buddy read The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova in 2020. It was one of the most wonderful books I ever
I was
read.
literally looking at them last night before bed. Where did they go?
Oh my god, I'm telling them about our historian buddy read from last year.
Oh,
And it was one of the great, I mean, it was such a great book, and it's a chunker book, and Alyssa and I both love a chunker book,
it's so good.
and it's so good, and it's the kind of book where you just want to savor it. You really want to savor it. So I purposely just read a little bit of that book each day, you know, during the entire month of October, and it was just so fulfilling. And I really want to again this October. Also, she found the books, guys. She found the
Oh,
books.
I found some things.
I was just telling the audience that I would like to reread The Historian again because it was just so delightful to read. It really was.
Yes, very, very good, and I highly recommend it to everybody. Now I have
Highly recommended.
this tiny little stack, but I also have my little list here, which has very little crossover.
Okay.
Because I went through my arcs and most of my e arcs because there's a
Mhm.
lot of e arcs in here.
Okay.
Um, and I went through my books, and that's kind of my my list comes from all of that.
Yeah, I was telling the audience that I have my Goodreads Creepy Reads shelf, and then I've got my books that I already own that we're going to be going through. So it's just a hodgepodge of things.
I mean, I probably have like 20 books here. How many do you have?
We're
You didn't
tracking.
tell me. You didn't give me a limit.
Oh,
The
well,
limit does not exist.
there is no limit. It's as
Okay,
many as
good.
you want, my friend. This is as many as you want.
Okay.
Because we're so again, this is not a permanent TBR. If you listen to our other episode, we don't do that. This is just like what we have, what we think we may want to read. You know, it's like just a bucket of stuff that we may want to read for October.
Am
And
I looking for
whatever we
more
get to,
books?
we get
Maybe.
to. I'm excited.
All right. Do we want to alternate
Yeah,
like we did? Okay.
yeah. You want to do like two and two, two and two, two
Sure,
and two?
sure, sure. How
Okay.
much do we want to? Oh, well, you go first, and then I'll just mirror you.
All right. So with the let me start with my creepy reads shelf on Goodreads because I don't have any of these books physically, but these are the ones that I'm going to be looking for when I go to the thrift store and McKay this coming Friday. And if I don't see them at any of these stores, then I'm going to order them online.
Okay.
So I really want to track down and read Fledgling by
That's on my list.
Okay, okay. I really want to read that one. I've never seen this one like in person in any used store.
It's on Hoopla.
Oh, great. Okay, great. So already we'll have the audiobook at least. Okay. So Fledgling by Octavia Butler. I also want to read The Changeling by Victor Laval.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy him. I read The Ballad of Black Tom, I think in 2019. Loved it. And this was an Laura Purcell. I've been wanting to read her for a really long
Yes.
time. So I'm going to be looking for The Silent Companions.
I very much want to read that book.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Or Bone China. But I would like to
yeah.
get both. But if I can't find both, I'm at least going to try to get The Silent Companions. And then the last one that okay, there's two more. I also want to get Zafloya. It's called Zafloya or the Moor. That's the title. And it's by Charlotte Dacker? Docker? I don't know. Dacre. And is this translated? Maybe. I'm not sure. It's very old. It's very old. So it's called Zafloya. Zofloya. And
a story of lust, murders set in Venice
whoa,
in the
whoa,
last days
whoa.
of the 15th century.
Yes. And I've been wanting to read The Graveyard Apartment by Mariko. I don't know how to say the last name. This is another one of those like Japanese cult classic books. And I was telling Alyssa just a few days ago that I remembered why I didn't buy it last year. I was trying to track it down in the thrift stores in the used bookstore last year. I looked for it for months. Couldn't find it, and I was going to buy it online. That sucker is like almost $30. And I remembered that because when I was looking for it again online this year, I saw that it was like 25, 27, $28. I was like, I'm not buying that. So that's
It's
why I
12
don't have
on
it.
your Kindle, your Kegel. It's 12 on your Kegel. Just Kegel that.
I can't commit. But the Graveyard Apartment has been on my list for a while. And then Slewfoot. That's probably the only book that I'm going to pay full price for.
You mean, hold on. This beautiful?
Yes!
That was in my pile?
Let me just say, guys, this is by the author Brahm. He wrote a book that I read last October called The Child Thief, which is a darker Peter Pan story, and it was fantastic. So I'm very excited to read Slewfoot. It's incredible. I can't wait. I can't wait. The illustration, those are by him, right? Because he's an artist.
So he makes these beautiful illustrations. So the books aren't just good; they are beautiful.
They are beautiful. They're very beautiful.
If you're watching the uncut and unedited TBR Lowdown,
unbelievable.
You can see some of those illustrations.
Yeah. So
I also did a reel with some of these illustrations in them, so you could see it.
Yeah. So that will most likely be the only book that I buy for October that I buy at full price.
It's worth it.
Yeah. I want to read this. Yeah, I want to read The Spirit Engineer, which comes out in October, but again, that's new, and I'm not going to buy two books at full price. I'm just, me, I'm not doing it.
I think the only book I have coming that's a new book is that Horsemen book, which, hold on, if I can get to the top of, I need to stop looking at Halloween decorations. Enjoy my singing, folks. it comes out at the end of September. It's called Horsemen: A Tale of Sleepy Hollow by Christina Henry.
Oh, you showed me that.
It just the cover is creepy. It sounds creepy. I do love a good Sleepy Hollow reference. You know, since I live not too far from there, went to school there. Like I'm very Sleepy Hollow is very much a part of my understanding of Halloween. So that's on my list. I guess we can go through some more just like things we don't already have. Like Certain Dark Things, which I know you already have, but I don't have that, by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. You know, I love a good vampire story, and apparently it's a vampire story, so I'm here for that. I need to look up what this is. These are all things I have sort of. James Hahn Matson. There we go. So there's this book that I have an arc of. It's called Reprieve. It's an e-arc, and it comes out October 5th. So it says it's set in 1997. 4 contestants make it to the final cell of Quigley House, a full-contact haunted escape room in Lincoln, Nebraska, made famous for its monstrosities, booby traps, and ghoulish costumed actors. If the group can endure these horrors without shouting the safe word reprieve, they will win a substantial cash prize, a startling feat accomplished only by one other group in the house's long history. But before they can complete the challenge, a man breaks into the cell and kills one of the contestants.
Okay, here for it.
Right? Like, does that not sound? Does that give you like, all the vibes? Love it. I do want to read, and that's by James Hahn Matson, and I want to read Summer Suns by Lee Mondello, which comes out at the end of this month, I believe.
Is that the one our friend Lacey just read? Is that the same book? Okay.
It is, and let me see. I want to read it. There we go. I'm also doing my October Goodreads while we're here. So if for some reason somebody wants to look at it, they're welcome to. But I have an e-arc of this one as well. But this one is like queer in some way, if I believe correctly, right?
I don't know. I hadn't heard of it until you all brought it up.
Andrew and Eddie did everything together. Best friends bonded more deeply than brothers until Eddie left Andrew behind to start his graduate program at Vanderbilt. 6 months later, only days before Andrew was to join him in Nashville, Eddie dies of a parent's suicide and leaves Andrew a horrible inheritance, a roommate he doesn't know, friends he never asked for, and a gruesome phantom with bleeding wrists that mutters of revenge. Oh, that sounds creepy.
Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I have so many of these, so I don't know if you want to jump in and give some more of yours.
I mean, I just gave. Okay,
actually, do you have this one yet?
I do.
Comfort Me with Apples. I definitely want to read. I read Catherine M. Valenti's other book earlier, The Past is Red, which is sort of like a.
Oh yeah, you just read that recently. That is right.
Environmental sci-fi book. So I'm excited to read this. I think this is it's a little thriller. It says for fans of Gone Girl and Spinning Silver, which I hated Spinning Silver, so we'll see how I go with this. But I do really like her writing. She can be very strange, but in like the best way. So,
boom.
And it's super short.
Yep, very short.
Thank you, Tor.com. Always. Thank you, Tor.com. There's a book by Sarah Glenn Marsh, who's an author that I've followed for a while. I'm really hot, by the way. That I've followed for a while. And mostly because I read one of her books, Into the Drowning Deeps, the other lady. It's something about the drowning in the deep or something. It's got a very similar name to that Mira Grant book. But
that is fabulous, by the way.
Very different books. But Sarah Glenn Marsh also has greyhounds and a Saluki, which if you've never seen a Saluki, adorable. I kind of want one. I don't know how she even got a Saluki. But she has a new book out called The Girls Are Never Gone, I believe.
Okay.
And it just came out. Yeah, it just came out this week. And it has a fantastic creepy cover if you've never seen it. It says The Conjuring meets Sadie.
That's weird. All right.
Yeah. So you've got like the podcaster set up. The podcast, this young podcaster takes an internship in a haunted house and finds herself in a life or death struggle against an evil spirit. Here for it. It's YA, but dark YA. I'm totally here
Yeah.
for it. Totally here for it.
Okay.
What else you got on your list?
There are a couple more things on my creepy reads shelf on Goodreads. There is this urban vampire huntress series called Vampire Huntress Legend by L.A. Banks. And the first book is called Minion. I'm interested, so if I happen to see it, I'm going to pick it up for sure.
Is it like smutty vampires or is it like
It's just a urban fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah. But apparently it's really good. And I think L.A. Banks is a woman of color, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then yeah, that's probably it off my Goodreads. Yeah. So we'll see.
Did you really want to go down this road with me? Because I have so many books.
Yes, I
So
do.
I have this, which I bought from the Book Barn recently, and it's the Dracula book of. It's a book of great vampire stories, and this is just like a random collection of vampire short stories. This was
That's kind of
collected
cool.
and put together, I guess, in the mid 70s, so nothing is older than that. And the first one, I think I've said this a couple times, the first one was written in like the late 1800s, and it sounds like our vampire is a lesbian.
Nice.
So I kind of want to read some of these. Like, I'm totally here for that. I could not. Once I read that, I was like, "Yeah, you're coming home with me."
Absolutely.
I want to read Nosferatu, which I have somewhere, which is the Joe Hill book.
I have that book. Oh, I don't have that. I have another.
You don't
Joe
have
Hill
that book, but it's supposed to be like a good classic, like horror that I need to read. And I think they made a TV show out of it.
They did.
And at the same time, there's also this book by Nick Cutter, which you'll see making the rounds probably this year, like it does every year. The Troop.
The Troop.
Yeah, which is like I have to actually read that. So
Yeah.
I picked up I Am Legend at some point, maybe this most recent book haul. I've never actually read I Am Legend, so and I haven't seen the movie either. So I guess I didn't realize it was about like zombies.
I like the movie.
Yeah,
I wonder how the book is though.
I think it's supposed to be better, but I don't remember what people told me. I think it's supposed to be different, like very different.
Interesting. Okay.
But I'm excited to actually read that. So that's a bunch of backlist stuff that I have.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to do a reread of Ninth House, especially read by Jess. Hated Ninth House, and it hurts me to my sad kitten on the floor core.
I'm not rereading that until we know when the sequel's coming out because I would like to reread Ninth House the same month that the sequel comes out. That's what I'm waiting to do.
I can do a third reread. Like it's not I'll just reread it again.
You know what? In addition to the Historian, I also would not mind rereading Night Film.
Oh, that one's so good.
It's so dang good. So good.
Oh, I have another book that I'm an e-arc and I really wish I had a hard copy of it. And it's from Tor. It's not Tor Nightfire. And that's Nothing But Blackened Teeth, which you probably would recognize the cover of, but it's based on
It's right there.
It's based
on
on
my list.
it's on your list. It's based on a Japanese like folklore. So our story and it sounds so creepy and the cover is unsettling. Everything's just fantastic.
It is.
I
that
need
cover
it.
is a nightmare.
It is. I asked for it on NetGalley just because of the cover. I was like, I need this in my life, and it just looks so gosh darn creepy.
It does. It is. If you were alone at night and you saw what's on that cover of this book, you probably crap your pants. Probably.
I'm here for it. what else do I have? Oh, you love that I picked this up for the dark academia vibes of
Yes.
These Violent Delights. Not the new YA These Violent Delights. The
No,
other
no.
These Violent Delights by Micah Nemeraver.
Yes.
I can't say names and I'm sorry. Do you know who's also terrible at saying names? Is Russell from Make and Paper Blog.
I know,
And I
but
feel like the
he's
two
so
of us
cute.
together would just be like, could you imagine the two of us together recommending
No.
books, trying to say names? It would just be like,
What's that name? No.
this person.
I'm so glad you picked that up. That book is so dark and disturbing. I loved it.
Here for
I
it.
loved it.
Let's do
Mhm.
it.
Loved it.
Would make you
And
excited.
and also it's like, God dang it, I have not heard anyone talk about that book. No one.
Thinking about the secret history, which is just fucked up. I just don't like it. Like, it's not even fucked up in like a good way. It's just fucked up in a pretentious way, which, like, I lived through the 90s. I don't need to be reminded of like what pretentious white boys were like in the 90s. Like,
Right.
those kids were kids I went to high school with.
Right.
They just got to go to college in early 2000. Like,
Right.
if we took it back a decade or like 5 years, they would have been the same exact kids. Do you know what? Like,
I totally know what you mean.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I lived this life. I'm good. I also got this from someone, Hachette, I guess. I don't know. Someone sent me this. I can't remember which publishing house. The Seven Visitations of Sidney Burgess. This was supposed to be some sort of horror book. I don't know.
Interesting.
So I we'll see. I don't always have the best of luck with some of these things. Like I'm hesitant on newer stuff
Yeah.
because I kind of want some people to read it and then be like, it's gonna blow your mind.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I know what you mean. Mm-hmm.
But I'll try it. The cover's pretty good with like the slashes and the mirror and like the
Yeah,
face.
it gives it a creepy vibe for sure.
Yeah. It's got potential.
Or less an eerie vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely got some potential. What else do you got? Because I can just keep going and going and going.
So let me do my shocker, right?
What's your shocker?
I have two things on my Kindle.
Oh.
Now they're these are novellas. And actually one is probably only like 50 pages. So the first one is Fabulous Beasts by Priya Sharma. I think this is horror short stories, if I'm not mistaken. And I was on a handful of blogs that were talking about like diverse, underrated horror reads, and this was on a couple of those blogs. And lo and behold, I was able to get the Kindle version for free. So that's exciting.
It sounds
I'm excited
good.
to read that. Mm-hmm. And then there was one on those lists that was on a list, and I don't know how to pronounce this. It's one of those Tor originals that you can go on the Tor website and read, but I added it to my Kindle, and it's called Triquetra. That may be wrong, guys. Let me spell it. Triquetra. And it's by Kirsten McDermott. Mm-hmm.
All right,
and it's a dark fantasy novelette about the fraught relationship between Snow White and her stepmother after Snow White has married the prince and has her own child. So I was like, okay, I'm into that. I'll check that out. It's Tor, so it's probably great.
Ooh, that
so
sounds good.
Those are two things on my Kindle. Both are very short. I think both combined are probably 100 pages. And that's probably all I can commit to in terms of something that I'm reading on my Kindle. So
well,
there's my shocker.
I don't know who you are, but I'm good.
Yeah.
There's this. I don't know if it's out yet, and I will probably buy myself a copy if I enjoy the arc of it. There's a gothic fantasy, like YA fantasy. But again, so here's where they trip me up. So it's called Lake's Edge. It's by Lyndall Clipstone. I think it comes out soon. Oh, end of the month. So September 28th.
Okay.
Awesome cover. It's giving me like Crimson Peak kind of vibes with the cover, like some sort of haunted mansion, monsters, all this stuff. But here's what how they tag it, and this is why I hate when they tag books like this. Perfect for fans of Naomi Novik. We all know how I feel about Naomi Novik and Bridget Kemmer. I don't care for Naomi Novik's writing at all, and Bridget Kemmer is fine. Doesn't sell me on a book, right? Like it's fine, but they could not be more different.
This is why I'm making this.
They could not be more different as authors. So what in God's name am I gonna get? But it looks really good. I also want to watch Crimson Peak. Maybe I'll do that tonight.
It's a movie?
You don't know what Crimson... Oh, it's a Guillermo del Toro movie. Have you never seen Crimson Peak?
No.
We should watch that tonight.
I have not. I've only seen Pan's Labyrinth.
So hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Welcome to my... The older I get, the more I think I actually have ADD because of the way I live my life. I just always thought it was the anxiety. It might have been ADD all along.
Whoopsie, wrong diagnosis.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
That's all right. It's fine. I've made it this far. Ooh, so it is on Netflix. Like we could literally do a watch party.
Let's do it. And it's called Crimson Peak.
Crimson Peak. I can't believe you've never watched Crimson Peak. Anyway, so that's that. We talked about fledgling already. I have a book on my... I think it's from Kindle Unlimited, and it's called Black Sunshine, and it's Dark Eyes Duet #1 by Karina Hale, and I believe it's like vampire smut.
Okay.
I don't care because it's a vampire, and I will read it. Oh, no, I don't think this one is the vampire smut, not slut. No, wrong.
Although there's nothing wrong with the word slut.
Oh, no, it is. So Dark Sunshine is a dark adult romance with a paranormal twist about sex, love, secrets, and revenge set in contemporary San Francisco.
Oh, hello.
And you need to see the cover. It's just like skulls and like roses.
Hello.
And like, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Because sometimes you need some smut to like spice up your life.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. What else you got?
Okay, let me do.
I'm a mess, and I will tell you.
Let me do 3. Okay, so I got this book called The Photographer. It was in one of my summer book spark boxes.
Show it again. I was over in Goodreads.
Oh, The Photographer by Mary Dixie Carter.
Oh.
And so it says pictures are fixed. It's one point of view, one moment in time. We tend to trust pictures. Apparently this is like a cross between... Where did I see that at? Somebody compared it. It doesn't matter. Let me just read one paragraph. As a photographer, Delta Dawn observes the seemingly perfect lives of New York City's elite, snapping photos of their children's birthday parties, transforming images of stiff hugs and tear-stained faces into visions of pure joy, and creating moments these parents long for. But when Delta is hired for Natalie Straub's 11th birthday, she finds herself wishing she wasn't behind the lens, but a part of the scene, and the Straub family's gorgeous home and elegant life. So... feels stalkery to me, and I'm here for it.
Ooh, I like stalkers. Not in real life, but I love them in books.
Right. And this is a YA one. I don't know. I saw this on some list a long time ago, and when I went in BAM one day, it was there, but I didn't want to pay full price. So I got it from Abe, and it's
Wait.
called Killing November.
Oh, I've heard about that one. Isn't that supposed to be
Hmm.
good?
Supposedly, and it's a series. And okay, at the International Academy abscondity. Okay, there's no electricity, no internet, and an archaic eye for an eye punishment system. Classes range from knife throwing and poisons to the art of deception.
Ooh.
And the students, all silver spoon descendants of the world's most elite strategists, training to become assassins, spies, and master impersonators. And so this is book one in whatever the series is called, Killing November. So I'm kind of excited to read this.
Oh, that sounds good. We like
Mhm.
that.
And then I've had this on my shelves for a while. It's Killers of the Flower Moon, the Osage Murders, and the Birth of the FBI.
Ah, we love a good like true
Mm-hmm.
crimey
Yes,
kind of
yes.
book.
Mm-hmm. All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Back to you, Alyssa.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I have another I because remember I went through all my e-arcs. I have this e-arc of The Corpse Queen by Heather Herman, which comes out when is it? It's got to be soon. Next week. So on Tuesday it comes out and it says in this dark, twisty, feminist historical thriller, a teenage girl starts a new life as a grave robber, but quickly becomes entangled in a murderer's plans. So that's
Ah.
like I'm here for that. That sounds interesting. Hopefully it's good. Um as you were talking about that November, what was the Killing November?
Yes, Killing November.
Well, first I'm going to add it to my October list because that sounds really good. For some reason, it was making me think of Atlas 6, which I do really want to read, and I have it behind me somewhere. But
I'm dying to know what you think about that
yeah,
because
so I think I might.
it sounds interesting.
Yeah, so that's like a bunch of magicians that have to like come together to do something or other, and it just sounds really interesting, and I can't wait to read that. I also have where are you? There you are. A Lesson in Vengeance. I did finally buy.
Ah,
Lacey
I
read
keep
this
seeing
one.
that.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing it a lot because it's Instagram popular. Plus, it's queer. The author's trans, so
Okay.
it's getting a lot of hype right now.
Okay.
On the old Bookstagram. So, but it's supposed to be a like dark academia kind of book. And
Mm-hmm.
it says, let's see, Felicity Morrow is back at Dalloway School, perched in the Catskill Mountains, so not far from me. The centuries old ivy covered campus was home until the tragic death of her girlfriend. Now, after a year away, she's returned to finish high school. So, I guess
Hmm.
there's witchcraft, you've got dark academy vibes. There's probably some
Okay.
other stuff going on. So I'm here. I'm here for all of those kinds of vibes. I want to read In the Ravenous Dark finally because I never read In the Ravenous Dark. I have the audiobook for
Have
it.
you
It's
talked
got
about that before
we
in our
have
little
I
group?
have,
Okay.
and it's like this queer dark horror, like gothic horror. Let me get you.
In the Ravenous Dark?
Yeah, it's
That's a
got that
great
lady,
title.
A.M. Strickland. It's got that lady on the cover, and it's got all the flowers that make the skull face behind her.
Uh-huh.
It's
Okay.
a pansexual blood mage reluctantly teams up with an undead spirit to start a rebellion among the living and the dead.
Mm. Wow. Okay.
I'm
That
here for.
might be good.
I've
That
heard really good things.
yeah, that might be good.
I believe Gabby really liked it. I remember asking Gabby about it, and because I think Gabby read it, and she was like, "It's not just a pretty cover; it actually is really good."
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you got some hope there.
I got some hope there that it's not just a pretty cover. I picked up this thing at the Book Barn, Craven Manor. It's just like some classic spooky haunted house tale.
Darcy Coates is very popular. She is very popular, and I wanted to read her last year, but I didn't see her at a thrifted price.
Yeah,
But
so for a
she is very
dollar,
popular. Mm-hmm.
for a taller, for a taller, for a taller, for a
For
dollar.
taller, for taller, for taller.
I need help.
Yeah.
Jesus is gonna come home and be like, "What did you do?" I'm just like throwing these books on the floor next to me as we go
Just
through.
tell them, this was the day we had our marathon podcast recording session. That means books everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere.
I might start reading some of these after I get through all of the things you gave me to read. Oh, so I was looking at this on my list and I was like, what is this? So there is a new adult, it's on Kindle Unlimited, a new adult like fairy tale series that's out.
Hmm.
And this is called Of Light and Darkness by Shane Layton. And it says a stunning debut that is fiercely imaginative, multi-layered dark fantasy for fans of The Bear and the Nightingale, which I know is one of those cult classics of fantasy world of like whatever, like middle grady fantasies, like all of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Um, which I
It's
haven't
not
read.
middle grade though.
Isn't it? Is I thought it was middle grade.
It's not middle grade.
What is it?
It feels like it's, I mean, I think it's just YA.
Oh, okay. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't really know sometimes where the difference lies. But this just sounded
Yeah.
really interesting because it's like a new spin on fantasy, like on a fairy tale sort of fantasy, and it's set in the Czech Republic, and there's witches and shifters and elves and all these things, and it just sounds like it could be really fun. Like if it's done well, it
Yeah.
will be like really really fun. So I kind of want to give it a try. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
Huh.
Weirdly, that is almost all of my list. How did we do that? And it's only been 36 minutes. We've been going like rapid fire.
I know. I know. Well, yeah, I'm into the physical ones. I'm into the physical ones now.
I only have two left here
Of your physical? Oh.
of everything that I
Oh.
jotted down. So if you
Oh,
want to
I guess I better get to talking.
get to
All right.
talking.
So this is a series that I bought last year. I have 4 out of the 6 books. It is a what do you call? Okay, this is the Night Watch series, and it's translated from. Why is it always so hard to find the language?
I don't know.
Um, I hear banging.
Oh, that's me.
Okay.
That's just
what is
me.
what is the language that it's translated from? Oh, Russia. It's translated from Russian. This is book 1. It's called Night Watch. I'll just read the first paragraph of the synopsis. It says, "They are the others, an ancient race of supernatural beings, magicians, shapeshifters, vampires, and healers who live among us. Human born, they must choose a side to swear allegiance to, the dark or the light, when they become of age." So this is book 1. And
Ooh,
then
I
I
like that
have
cover.
the covers are awesome. And I have book 2, which is Day Watch.
Okay. Oh, I
And
like
I've
that
got
cover.
Yeah, I've got book 3, Twilight Watch. I don't have books 4 and 5, but I have the final book, which is Sixth Watch.
I like how they're kind of like mixed media.
So I'll read book 1, and who knows, if I really like it and feel compelled, I'll start the others and see what
Yeah.
happens. But I'm really excited about starting this. I've had this on my shelves for quite a while. And also for quite a while, I've had Vita Nostra has been on my shelves for 2 years.
I've been waiting for you to
And
pull that one out.
yeah, so when I bought this book, I knew it was a series, but I assumed that they would translate the rest of the series fairly quickly. And so I purposely did not read it because I thought, okay, well, it's 2019. If they translate book 2, let's say, over the next year, that's fine. I can wait. But here we are 2 years later, and still only book 1 has been translated. So I'm just going to go ahead and read book 1. So that's Vita Nostra. This is translated from. Oh boy, is this Russian again?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let me read you a little bit of it. No, okay, I'll just read this part. A brilliant dark fantasy combining psychological suspense, enchantment, and terror that makes us consider human existence in a fresh and provocative way. People call this dark academia. Where is it set at? It's set at the Institute of Special Technologies. That's the school in this book.
Yeah, I've seen it under Dark Academia.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it, but I have a feeling I'm gonna love it, and then I'm gonna be really sad that the rest of the series has not been translated.
Well, if you're sad that the rest of the series isn't translated, you can read Daughters from the Dark with me by the
I
same
am.
authors to just,
I do want to.
you know,
I want
keep
to.
your wet your palate more. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yes, yes. What else? I'm going to be reading. So I have the Arc of White Smoke by
I was
Tiffany
like,
Jackson.
I just was thinking about that. I was like, neither of us has said White Smoke yet.
Yeah, I'm holding off on reading this until October, so I'm excited about that. I have enjoyed everything she's written. I'm also going to read Prosperous Demon by KJ Parker. This is very short.
I love that book.
Yes. And
Aw.
exorcist methods aren't delicate, but they're undeniably effective. He'll get the demon out. He just doesn't particularly care what happens to the person. Okay.
You'll like it. It's good.
I feel like I will. I'm excited. And let's see. I'm gonna probably read this book. It's called Unraveling Oliver by Liz Nugent. Let's see. Yeah. Oliver Ryan has the perfect life, elegant and seductive. He wants for nothing, sharing a lovely home with his steadfast wife Alice, who illustrates the award-winning children's books that have brought him wealth and fame. Until one evening, after eating the dinner Alice has carefully prepared, Oliver savagely assaults and leaves her for dead. Yes.
Okay.
I'm here for it. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9 books left.
Well, I can do a couple. I have on pre-order a book by Lauren Blackwood called Within These Wicked Walls, which comes out in about mid-October, which is a sort of a spin on Jane Eyre, I believe, is what it's been pitched to me, and I'm really, really excited to read this because you know how I feel about Jane Eyre. I love it.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
It's supposed to have a really good magic system. You have a fantastic black hair. It's supposed to have romance. It's supposed to be like dark and spooky and goth. I'm here for all these vibes. I hope that it is all the things. I hope there is like gothic chills. I hope there's good romance. Like it just feels perfect. That lighter side of
Oh yes.
of the spooky season. I guess I can also highlight these I got, and they're in really good condition. I don't think anybody actually read them. These are this is a thriller mystery series, and the like detective or the main character speaks to ghosts, and it's all like they're like paranormal investigators basically.
I like it.
Yeah, so that's definitely in the right vein, and they're by Daniel Hecht. The City of Masks and Land of Echoes. I don't know how many of these there are.
And that's a detective series?
Yeah, it says
You
thriller.
know how I love a good detective series.
It says a Cree Black novel. The first one looks like it's in New Orleans. And then this one, where is this one? I don't even know. Maybe New Mexico? So it looks like they travel all over, which kind of makes sense because if you don't have to, if you're a paranormal investigator, right? You're not stuck in one spot. Ghosts are everywhere. So these are from like early 2000s. So I wonder what kind of ratings these have. You want to do some books while I figure out what the good old Goodreads?
Sure. Okay. I've also got The Word is Murder by Anthony Horowitz on my list. And I've only read one book by him, and that was Magpie Murders, which I really enjoyed. I like him a lot.
So good.
So good, right? A book within a book. I loved it.
I could do Moriarty.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Sorry.
So this says, one bright spring morning in London, Diana Cowper, the wealthy mother of a famous actor, enters a funeral parlor. She is there to plan her own service. 6 hours later, she's found dead in her own home, strangled with a curtain cord. Yes. Love it. I'm excited. Hang on. I've got... everything's everywhere, guys.
It looks like they have 3 books in this series.
Which one? Let me see.
The
detective
City of
one?
Masks. Yeah, it looks like there's 3 of them.
When was the last one
Oh
published? What year?
six. Oh six.
Oh, okay, so it's done.
Yeah.
Maybe next time you go to the book barn, you can find that third one.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Just finish it up.
Let's see. Okay, this was something I got from my library at one of those book sales. It's called Dead Last, a novel by James W. Hall. I've never heard of him, but I'm excited to read this. Oh, he's an Edgar Award winning author. Okay, so this says April Moss writes obituaries for the Miami Herald. Her son Sawyer has been scripting a cable TV series called Miami Ops and has been using his mother's work as a central element of the storyline. In Miami Ops, a serial killer is using obituaries from the local paper as a blueprint for selecting his victims. But midway through the season, a copycat appears, a real life killer who is using the same strategy. When the serial killer crosses paths with the reclusive Thorn, he has no choice but to leave Key Largo and join forces with a young policewoman from Oklahoma who is investigating the murders. And that's Dead Last.
You're reminding me that I have stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks of mystery books that my mother has brought me.
Do you have Jamaica Inn?
I do have Jamaica Inn, I think, somewhere.
You know,
You
I've
wanna
never
read
read
Jamaica
Du
Inn?
Maurier, ever.
You've
I've
never even read Rebecca?
And I refuse to read it in October because everyone or their mother reads it in October. I'm going to read Jamaica Inn. And
You better read Rebecca at some point.
I'm going to read it in April just to make people like, why didn't she read that in October? I'm going to read it in April. So, yeah, I've had this on my shelves for a while. So, yeah, I'm going to read Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier as well.
I'm trying to remember if I actually
fine
own
romantic
it.
tale, rich in suspense and surprise.
All of her work, you'll like her writing. Her writing is very what's the word we didn't like? It's very flowery. It's very intricate writing.
You and I never use that term though. We don't use that word. We don't use flowery.
I don't understand what it means. No, but the writing is complex in a really good way.
I'm excited to read this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't know if I own Jamaica Inn, but I think I can probably grab it from the book barn, so that's not a big deal. I can always read Jamaica Inn with you. I know I have My Cousin Rachel.
Oh, I hear that one's good too. Yeah.
Oh, My Cousin Rachel is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel.
You're like, oh, that's ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have 6 more.
I have 2, but I'm sure I'll find some more.
Okay.
Keep going.
So you already mentioned this, but another one. I've heard Certain Dark Things on my shelves for 2 years. I actually started reading this last year, and I didn't finish, and I didn't get very far. I don't really remember much of what I read, but I will be reading this next month for sure.
And Velvet
Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia.
Velvet Was the Night is also a thriller, right?
It is noir.
Yeah.
Like crime noir. That's what attracted me to it because I like noir.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's my jam. I'm into it. So
we could always throw that one on there too. And that was a recent book of the month pick. So
it was. And I'm finally going to read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
Oh,
also, I never knew how short this was. I did not know it was this short.
How small is your writing in it though?
It's not that well, maybe. Well, it's not that small, is it? It's not that small.
It could be smaller. I have that somewhere in this house, and like everything else, I have it somewhere in this house.
Yeah.
I have not read it since high school.
I've never read it, so I'm excited. Last year was my first time reading Dracula. This year will be my first time reading Frankenstein. And I am also going to read The Call of Cthulhu and Other Stories by Lovecraft.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, you got that with me.
And Frankenstein with you. Yep. Okay, now I'm down to my last 3.
Okay, so I got my 2 here. I've got you've seen these. This is The Manning Tree Witches. This is just out this month by from Catapult. It's A.K. Blackmore. I say that like Catapult sent it to me, and they didn't. But Catapult, if you want to send me books, I will happily fill out whatever Google form you want me to. So this is sent in 1640s England. You've got puritanical fever has gripped the nation, and in Manning Tree, a town depleted of men since the wars began. The hot terror of damnation burns in the heart of women left of their own devices. And I don't know, it just sounds like it's gonna be fun. It says, breathing
Yeah.
with contemporary energy and resonance, the Manning Tree plunges its readers into the fever and menace of the English witch trials, where suspicion, mistrust, and betrayal run amok as a nation's arrogant male institutions start to realize that the very people they've suppressed for so long may be about to rise up and claim their freedom. And I think what I really liked about this is that it's not about Salem.
Yes. Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with Salem witch trials, but it's so nice to see other witch trial stories because they happened everywhere, because men persecuting women everywhere for eons.
Yep. That's right.
This is becoming the feminist book club.
That's right. She speaks no lies, folks. She speaks no lies. I hope that was really good. I hope it is really, really good.
And then my last hard copy one is that one that I bought. This is strictly like a cover buy, like cover pickup, because that cover is fantastic. And this is Revelator by Daryl Gregory. It's creepy and weird. And then it's giving me a little bit of Roanoke Girls with the set in 1933. We're in Tennessee. There's like dark secrets in a family. And the family has a personal god entity with the funniest name ever, Ghost Daddy. And once I read the words Ghost Daddy, I had to pick up the book.
I just can't.
And I need a t-shirt, a comical t-shirt that says Ghost Daddy. Just like, yes, Ghost Daddy. And then
yes. I love that. I love that. I hope that was good because the name is kind of like, okay.
Yeah, and I spent $30 on it because I bought it for real. So,
Yibbity yikes.
Sorry.
Yibbity yikes.
Calm
$30.
down.
Yee.
It's from Knopf. It's probably good. Knopf is like, I feel like
that's
a little
another
higher
good
brow.
publisher. They're a good publisher.
Yeah, they're a little higher brow, I think. So they usually do pretty good. So we'll see.
Nice.
Yes, Ghost Daddy.
Is that your last physical one?
That's the last physical book that I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so go.
Well, here are my last three.
Yes, Ghost Daddy at you, as the lights slowly dim in my room.
Oh, this was another one that I started reading last year. The publisher sent me the book, and they also had like this buddy read that went terribly wrong, and I never finished the book. I'm serious. It went terribly wrong. It's The Living Dead, a new novel by George Romero and Daniel Kraus.
Book. How did it go terribly
I got
wrong?
that far.
How did it go terribly wrong? I already thought you read that book.
I didn't. It was poorly organized, and it wasn't really clear because they wanted us to like read a chapter or two or whatever and then post about it. It wasn't very organized. It wasn't organized very well. So it just kind of fell apart actually. So I am going to start over because I don't remember all of what I read here. I don't remember. So I'm starting over, and it's a nice chunker. So The Living Dead.
Wait. Hold on.
What?
So that is published by Tor, correct?
Yes.
How are you not on the Tor list?
I don't know.
We need to fix this.
I don't know. I don't know. It's like how when someone reached out to me from Tor and was like, "We see you love Murderbot. Do you want an arc of Fugitive Telemetry?" I was like, "Of course I do." I don't know.
We gotta fix this.
I know we gotta fix it. So
I do want to read that. That looks really good.
Yeah. So it's just over.
It's chunky.
It's just under. It's 651 pages.
Ooh.
So a lot of creepy goodness there.
Do you like
and
I'm looking to see if there's anything else like right nearby that is worth showing, but I don't think there is.
All right, and then I picked up this book at a thrift store. It's called Gothica by Victoria Nelson.
Oh, I remember when you picked up that one.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
and
that reminds me.
Say here. So on the front, I hate when they cover stuff up with stickers, but it says vampire heroes, human gods, and the new supernatural. That's really all I need. That's all I need, and I'm in. So I've never heard of this book or this author. Have you?
No. And you know what that book just reminded me of? Remember the thing I sent you yesterday, the Gothanica, a dark academia gothic romance?
Yeah.
Gothic Cana, whatever it's called.
Yes.
Gothikana.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Woo.
Yeah. So I'm excited, and this is pretty short. It's just a little over 300 pages. So we'll see what that's about. And then my final book, Alyssa should remember this because we were going to read it last year and we didn't. House of Leaves.
Oh my god, not that book.
Mm-hmm.
That book needs an audiobook for me to get through it.
Mm-hmm. So Alyssa and I had planned on reading House of Leaves in October of 2020, and we never got around to it.
We didn't.
We shall attempt. We should. We should try this for this go round of October.
I don't know if that will work.
She's like, I don't know, man. Is there an audiobook? This book is just like, it's very strange the way it's composed and compiled. Very strange.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So.
It doesn't have an audiobook. But what it does need, if we don't read it, I'm trying to qualify this with as much as possible. If we don't read it for October, we should read it as part of does challenging. So I'm in China.
Oh, do you want to save it for that?
Yeah. Maybe. Yes.
You're like, wait, let me think about that. Let me think about it. Wait a minute. Let me think about it.
It's just so bizarre.
I mean, it is. When I'm looking through the book and these, again, the way it's structured is the layout is strange. It's a hodgepodge of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange.
It's weird.
So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. House of Leaves. We shall see.
I
This
mean,
is a big maybe.
Still, like, I want to read it, but also, like, I'm terrified of it. Oh, and I think you're going to end up with shorter audio again because I think
the video went out.
Yeah, I can't see you. You're just
a
big black screen.
Yeah,
sadness.
I see it.
Hello.
I see it.
Is there
So
anybody out there?
Those are all of. I'm looking.
Oh, she's back. Hi.
Oh, hello.
Shoulder. Hello.
Those are. I'm just looking on my horror thriller shelves. Yeah, that's all that I have, or that I want to choose from. And I'm gonna look for those other books that I mentioned that are on my Goodreads Creepy Reads shelf to see if I can track those down. But that's what I've got.
I feel like, do you ever worry? Random thoughts with Alyssa. Do you ever worry when you buy like a random thrifted book? Because you're just like in a store, it sounds interesting. You bring it home and then you show it to the internet. Do you ever worry that the internet's going to be like, that author is and just come at you?
No. I mean, listen, when I'm thrifting, I'm not doing author research when I'm buying books.
True.
I mean, I'm not. I am just I'm skimming the synopsis for keywords that interest me, and that's all I'm doing. And if the price is right, it's going in the cart.
We are such cheap bastards when it comes to buying books.
Listen, okay, real talk. We both read at a very minimum, at least 12 books a month. At a minimum.
Oh, yeah.
So if we were paying full price for that, I can't justify that every month.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. I have real bills.
Yeah. I kind of need like my water and power and taxes.
Yeah, I have real bills and real savings goals. I cannot and will not spend that kind of money on books every month.
Yeah.
How am I going to move to the Caribbean when I'm doing that?
I know. If you didn't already
Okay.
hear, we want to start a book retreat. So you have to get this.
That's right.
You got to get this podcast to the upper echelons of podcasting world, so that we can set up a bookish writers retreat in the Caribbean.
That's right. That's right.
BVI, here
So
we come.
that's right. So, sometimes I look at people's pages of the new releases they bought for the month, and I'm like, that is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I will not do it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, yesterday was a treat. Going and buying books from Barnes& and Noble was that was like a treat.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. And every now and then you do that, right? You treat yourself every now and then,
Yeah.
but like to
I
do
have a
that every month.
buttload of new releases coming though, and in pre-orders because this is the season. Like this is my season of reading.
The only
Tama is very
thing,
excited.
the only thing that I have pre-ordered is the 10th anniversary edition of Leviathan Wakes by S.A. James Corey.
I'm
Or
always
James
looking.
S.A. Corey.
I'm always looking for that book when I go to. Ooh, you're gonna be mad at me. I'm always looking for that book when I go to the book barn, but it's
Oh,
never
Leviathan
there.
Wakes, book one.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
the the fantasy sci-fi section is usually pretty lacking, but like the classics, like
Mhm.
regular fiction is pretty poppin'. Um, so this hardback copy of Carry On, that Rainbow Rowell book, has
Oh,
been
yeah.
sitting there for weeks now. I'm like, how has nobody picked this up yet?
Mm.
I mean, I didn't like that series, but like, I feel like it. Maybe we're just done. Maybe this area isn't like into the culty kid
or
Hawaiianess.
maybe it's already permeated through your area, and it's already a book that's been written. I mean, read by many.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
I just like find it interesting that it sits there.
Yeah.
But you know what they had? They had a lot of Jose Sarmongos, of
Oh,
other Jose
really?
Sarmongos, which I didn't pick up because I don't know
Mm.
what I want to
Mm-hmm.
read. But
Yeah. Your library store is really good.
mhm.
My library stores are mediocre, but we have the best library book sales.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
but you don't have
insane.
those all the time. Like I can go there four
Yeah,
days a
we have
week.
the sales 3 or 4 times a year, but and you can always buy books at our libraries, but it's just not like the library book sales. I think they hold the books,
They
the
probably
book
do.
donations for the book sales because they're so popular out here,
Hmm.
and you can really acquire some good. So we're having one in October. I'm on the list to help because I'm a friend of my library, so I volunteered myself to help with the setting up the book sale like I did 2 years ago, which is really fun actually. And I'm excited. I think it's October 14th. It's the pre-sale for members only, so I'm ready. I'll have my $20 so I can get my 4 bags to fill up with books.
What if I give you $20 and you just pick up things you think I'd like?
Oh my gosh. Just look, have your FaceTime available.
Do I work on the 14th? I don't know.
Have your face. Yeah, we'll check when we get closer, but have your FaceTime available because I'll FaceTime you with stacks at a time.
I mean, does it doesn't or not? As long as you just don't see the patients, it's fine.
Right. So I'm looking forward to that
No HIPAA
because
violations, even for books.
right, because we haven't had a book sale since 2019. So I am like so excited.
I'll go
I'm
hide in
so
the
excited.
bathroom. Be like, okay.
Right.
what
Oh,
you
I
got?
can text you like, FaceTime coming in 20 minutes.
Hide in the bathroom. We'll find ways.
Yeah. So I'm excited. So I will definitely be going through books just to make sure there's nothing on my shelves that I want to get rid of. But I did a pretty good culling of these books when you came to visit me. So I
Yeah.
probably don't have much to donate between now and then, but I'm
Well,
excited for the book sale.
my other Lowe's order shipped, so I should get the first set of brackets.
Oh, that's great.
Which I thought would be for the corner wall, and they're too tall for that wall, so they're
Oh,
actually going to go on the tall wall, which is fine. It's not like I can't make it work. So we're just going to start on a different area than I originally thought. But like
okay.
once I get the brackets up and I figure out that, it should be pretty straightforward because then I just get like the actual peggy things and the boards,
Mm-hmm.
and it should fly pretty quickly from there. So then I can actually do a big cull as I'm putting the books on the shelf, and I have everything laid out in front of me. I
Right.
can really get us a good chunk of books to go to McKay's.
You're gonna be so happy when your whole book nook project is finally done.
It's just what's funny is so like before Turbo got sick, like literally the day before we knew Turbo was that sick, we or 2 days before we had gone and I had filled up my whole cart with everything and everything was available at IKEA, and then Turbo got sick and we spent all that money, and we obviously couldn't just drop $700 at that point on
Right.
bookshelves. And by the time we started to like look at it again, if any sort of seriousness, even just getting like a few at a time to just slowly acquire things, they were gone. There was nothing in the area. No bookshelves in the whole.
It's
the
incredible,
closest
right?
distance. It's crazy, and they haven't come back.
On the IKEA website, it does say something like every so many seconds, these many people buy our bookshelves. Like it's amazing how many people all over the world
Buy Billy
love
bookshelves.
and buy Billy bookshelves from IKEA.
Yeah.
It's insane when you think about it.
Yeah. But alas, we're going to go with my plan C, which is not what I really want to do, but it will work. And we just at this point, like, I need Jesus out of my hair all the time. He needs to be out of my hair all the time. My books need to not be in piles everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to move on with our lives.
Yeah. It'll be like so much calmer once you get your books like in their own home. Because I know it's frustrating. You're like, God dang it, where is this book? Oh, in one of the piles.
Yeah. And I can't even like, if you saw the guest room, it is, forget it. Like, it's so bad. And the books, even if I don't buy books, books keep coming in for various things. So it's
publishers, your mom.
Oh my God, my mom just dropped off like 20 books at a pop. And Jesus is like, what the fuck? He sends me pictures.
Yeah.
Like I knew they were on the front porch. He sent me a picture. He was like, what is this? I was like, that's my mom.
That's the thing. Even when we're not buying books, we're still getting them. We're still getting them.
Show up. It's like when you tell someone you collect like pigs, right? You really like pigs. Suddenly, like everyone's just buying you shit with pigs. Like you've got pigs, salt and pepper shakers, and soap holders, and stuffed things. And
that's what
like,
happens.
I just said I liked a pig. I don't need a whole pig house. Like
right. Exactly. Yeah, the books they just keep a coming. But I mean, I'm definitely out of space. I mean, the last time that I reorged the shelves behind me, because I had purchased 2 shorter bookcases. Thank goodness I did that. That needed to happen. Those are completely full, but I was able to make a little bit of room in my taller bookcases to put in some more books, but not many. And also, I have 2 other bookcases in my little, I call it my multimedia room because it's where I edit our podcast.
It's where sounds so fancy.
Because I watch TV in there, I edit our podcast in there, and I read in there. So it's like I'm doing multimedia things in there.
I edit videos in here.
Right.
I do podcasting in here.
Right. So I'm really out of space because even my backup bookcases are full now. So.
You know, I've thought about the whole like, oh, why don't I switch over to Kindle and just learn to like my Kindle and all that
what?
stuff. What?
Blasphemy.
Like, here's my biggest thing is that I could not afford to only read Kindle books because I can't go to the book barn and buy dollar books, and not every book is available on Kindle at the library. So at some point you're buying the dang books, and that would add up incredibly quickly.
I don't want to,
because you actually have to own every most part, unless it's on Kindle Unlimited, and then that's a monthly cost, which I do pay because I do get things off Kindle Unlimited. You know, it's no, this is actually the most cost-effective way for me to do this.
I mean, I'm old school. It brings me a lot of joy to look at the books on my bookshelves. I like looking at my books. I like holding physical books. I like reading from physical books. That's just what I enjoy.
Same.
So while I do have stuff on my Kindle, I rarely read off my Kindle. It's not something I really enjoy doing either.
I really only do it when I travel, and we haven't done that in
A while.
because
Yeah,
we've been in a Panic at the Disco. So I have
exactly.
not been able to, I do read sometimes off my Kindle. I mostly read off of my iPad because I can make my iPad read to me.
That's really cool. You can do that.
But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think everybody can do it because it's funny and there's like no intonation of anything, unlike an
Oh,
audiobook.
it's just straight.
It's just straight reading. I put it in a
Mm.
British voice and I just have it
Mm-hmm.
read to me. So sometimes it's really weird, like where she decides to put in inflections or like to have a computer. Like I had Den of Vipers read to me that way. To have a
Oh.
computer read Den of Vipers to you, it's like, and then he put it in my, and then you're like, so
So
I find
really,
it
not
amusing.
recommended, perhaps, but it works. It
It works.
works.
By the way, my Den of Vipers vlog is the only video that is consistently being watched on my channel. It has like over 2,000 views, and I still get comments on it to today. My
What?
little channel that nobody pays any attention to, that Den of Vipers vlog.
Are you kidding? Listen, people, with that.
Because
That's
it's
that's
like a
interesting.
cult classic. I gotta do my Priest review. Did you know I was reading Priest porn?
Oh yes, 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 yes. Yes, because I was like, that's crazy.
It
But
is.
I'm kind of into it.
It's kind
And
of
I
a
liked
lot.
your updates.
Like I'm glad I read it. Desire to read the next two. Like we went here, we did this.
Good to
Great.
go.
My colleague at work read it too, and she's like, "Alyssa, that book." I'm like, I know, I know. She's like, and it
Um,
feels particularly weird because my dad's a pastor.
oh crap. Okay. That's a whole other level of mm, knowing a little bit too much.
He's not even a good priest. Anyway, so I'll save all this for. I have to make a video of it.
Okay, okay. Well, that's interesting. It just kind of shows how deep the dark romance community probably is.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
It
Yeah.
is really weird to me that we enjoy these things. Like, and it's always been really weird to me. Like, how many male in particular romances sell and like them and we love the violence and we're here for it. And if this happened in real life, we'd be like, get the fuck, what the,
Yes,
but in the
exactly.
book, we're like, oh, yes. Yes, Ghost Daddy. Give it to me. Like, and don't lie. Almost all of us are like that. But here's the
It's
problem.
true.
So like, you know how you can, the TikTok algorithm will just like randomly dump you into each little like
Mhm.
niche of TikTok. I
Mhm.
must have watched a couple or liked a couple dark romance book talk things. And then one day I started ending up in like BDSM
Oh my.
TikTok for like a few, like, for a few scrolls. And I was like, how did I get here?
Wow.
It's like
Oh.
bring me back to nurse talk. I don't want to be in BDSM world.
Like I don't want this. I don't want this invite. I don't want this
take me
invite
back,
at
like,
all.
take me back to lesbian thirst traps. And
Oh, the lesbian thirst traps are fantastic.
they make me question my sexuality every time.
Oh,
I'm like,
they make everyone question their
and
sexuality.
then
They're
I look at Jesus
fantastic.
and I'm like, she knows how to use a nail gun. Like,
They are great. Anyway, I'm psyched for October. I hope
me too.
to it'll be interesting to see what I actually read out of what we've talked about today. So we should definitely do an episode just on what we actually read for October.
You know what I'm thinking about while
What?
we were naming all these? How much fun you're going to have listing these and embedding these from our bookshop
It's
self.
going to be a nightmare.
Because I think we listed like
Oh,
40 books.
so many. That other episode that we did, I think it was the um it maybe the talk about the classics.
Mm-hmm.
That was another one. It was like a lot of books. A lot of books.
I hope you guys don't mind being overwhelmed with book recommendations.
You're welcome in advance.
If you need anything to read, just ask us.
We are here to help you.
You might regret it.
So let us know over on the blog at tbrlowdown.com and or on our Instagram at TBR Lowdown what you think you may want to read in October. If you like anything that we're talking about reading, if you've read anything that we're talking about reading, let us know. Let's chat it up.
If any graphic designers want to make us a Yes Ghost Daddy graphic, we will make t-shirts.
We're here for that for sure. So yeah, let's get our creepy reads on. Yeah, Ghost Daddy.
Yes, Ghost Daddy. Let's do it.
Cheers and bye.
Bye.